Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to be talking about the third eye chakra, and we have the lovely Alina with us from Energy Healing Tarot and Astrology Reading once again. And whenever you're ready, take her away.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to connect with all of you in another brand new episode. So in this episode, we talk about 10 uncommon signs of third eye chakra imbalance and how to heal them. So the first we have is, we know we live in this third dimensional world where we have so many types of energy and emotions. So when someone's crown chakra or third eye chakra is positively active, they can have emotions and energies related to intuition, creative downloads, innovation. They can be quick learner. They could have a lot of psychic visions. They can be clairvoyant or clairaudient. And when someone's third eye chakra is negatively activated, they can have weak eyesight. They can have hearing problem because the third eye is also governs our ENT region. I mean, the ear, nose, and throat. It can give someone headache. It can give someone cold-related diseases. It can give someone sleep disorder and creative blockages. So let's see when our third eye chakra is positively overactivated. So like I said before, these people are very, very intuitive. So these people will be clairvoyant. So you know what clairvoyant is, right?
I do. A lot of our viewers might not, though. So a professional description would be an asset.
Okay, so clairvoyance means voyance is the vision, and the clair means clarity. So they have their multi-dimensional awareness in terms of visions. They can vision multi-dimensional beings. They can see the ghost, they can see colors that are not available in this realm, but they can see higher dimensional colors, more of the spectrums, and they can see the interdimensional beings, the presence in the physical form. They can see the angelic beings.
Right.
Okay, so do you know about the clairaudience?
No, I was actually going to ask you. I've never heard of that one before.
Okay, audience is to do with hearing, your audio.
Right.
Clair means the clarity. So they have their multidimensional hearing ability activated. So they see, I mean, they can hear the messages from the other realms, you know, like angel talking to them or their higher self talking to them.
Does that actually come through as words, or is that like the ringing in the ears?
It can be both. High pitch ringing can also happen. They can also have and also understand a lot of the musicians, they have clairaudience because when they imagine that kind of musical tone, a particular kind of tune, a sound, all of that, they have a lot of the creative downloads as the clairaudience.
Okay.
Okay, so do you know about the claircognizance?
No, but I'm gonna take a guess that it has to do with the mind.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so claircognizance is it's a psychic ability that you know about something and information, but you don't know the logical reason behind it. Like I had my past life memories, and without any kind of logic or reasoning, I just knew it. It's almost like when in a monitor, you see files are being transferred from one file to the another. That's happening.
Okay.
Or on the other hand, if you see that you are taking information by seeing something, by hearing something, like the clairvoyance or the clairaudience or something else, then it's a bit different. Like you're watching a movie and you're hearing, receiving those messages through your eye, through your ear.
Okay.
It's almost like from the Akashic realm, your brain is downloading information directly.
Interesting.
Okay, so positively overactivated third eye chakra people are extremely intuitive people. They have intuitive visions. I mean, they can foresee the future. They have prophetic visions. They have very vivid dreams. They can also see the future. in the dreams, they can have, even when they're awake state, they can have a lot of prophetic visions. And they can be psychics, mediums, channelers. And they can be, on the other side, they can be painters, because painters, they have a lot of creative imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of people don't realize that, but the creative people, the painters, the musicians, the writers, they have a lot of creative download. I mean, without creativity, you can't be an artist. And to be an artist, you need to be intuitive.
Makes sense.
So they have a lot of, I mean, how people, I mean, this Van Gogh could just come up with something like images like that. They could see and imagine. The third eye, I mean, enables them to see and imagine things from a broader perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Musician, I've already described that. Writer, she's J.K. Rowling. She came up with Harry Potter, her famous book. And how did she just imagine all this thing, like a kind of a dream world full of magicians and all of that? It took, I mean, for her to tap into her intuition to come up with that kind of story.
Right.
And these people can be very good visual learner and also auditory learner. They have like photographic memory, everything that they see once or they hear once, and they can remember that. They can retain that information a lot better. So eventually it makes them a very good student.
Cool.
The next thing we have is some examples of some famous people. We have Van Gogh, the famous painter. We have Leonardo da Vinci. He was a philosopher. He was a painter. He has done many other significant things as well. We have Steve Jobs, who was very innovative. And then we have J.K. Rowling.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's see when our third eye chakra is negatively overactivated. So because our third eye, it governs the pineal gland, and which produces a very important hormone of our body, the melatonin, which regulates our sleep cycle. So when our third eye chakra is negatively overactivated, it disrupts someone's sleep cycle. Maybe they will have trouble falling asleep at night. Probably they have lack of sleep, or probably they sleep too much, more than 6 hours.
Okay.
Okay, so it can also give people nightmare, like CPTSD kind of syndromes. Like for a lot of people, I mean, a lot of children that I've seen, they're more prone to the nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they see ghosts and stuff. And see, children, they're very much prone to, their third eye is very much open. And because they are not so connected to the outer world, they are more into the imagination when they're playing with the dolls and stuff. They're very intuitive. So it's very much easy for children to see these interdimensional beings and to feel their presence. But what happens for adult people, that for some reason your third eye chakra got negatively overactivated and you have frequent nightmares. It could be because of trauma, or it could be because of some interdimensional negative entity is trying to mess with you.
Like a psychic attack?
Yes. Okay, so it can give you different types of mood disorders like CPTSD, BPD, because our third eye regulates our mood as well. So when our third eye is unstable, our mood is also unstable.
Right.
So this can also give someone schizophrenia, hallucination, or other mental illness.
And of course, drug and alcohol abuse, hey?
Yeah, drug addiction. Drug addiction, because see, these people, the way that they fall for drug is because their body is very sensitive, because their third eye is negatively overactivated. So they become very sensitive there to stabilize their mood. And because they couldn't sleep at night, in order to like go out and work, they need to just depend on drugs and cigarette and all of that to get some stability.
Right.
Next we have is when our third eye chakra is positively underactivated. So these people, they don't believe in ghosts. They don't believe in interdimensional beings. Why? Because they feel like something that my physical eye cannot see. Why would I believe that? And they just don't grow any kind of interest in that. And they also don't question themselves like, okay, physical eye has limit. It's only the 2% that our physical eye enables us to see in this entire universe. The 98% are quite invisible to the physical eye. They don't really realize that.
Right.
So these people could have creative blockages. They just can't get their hands on things like painting or music or things like that. They are more logical and rational. They will be inclined more towards like professional courses like mathematics or something else.
Okay.
But even for some mathematicians, I mean, they need to have their creativity. They need to ask themselves the question, like, what is beyond that? I mean, the mathematician who came up with those ideas like calculus, the idea of having a zero, the idea of infinity, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had to have the creativity involved in there. Otherwise, if they wouldn't ask themselves the question, they wouldn't be able to know more about the universe, right?
Right.
But these people are quite blocked up in the limiting belief system.
I feel like this is a lot of society.
Definitely. And I see it's a lot of the people, like we are more like awakened. Our third eye is awakened, right? And these people are comfortable in their own kind of ignorance. Like ignorance is bliss for them.
Yeah.
And these people might also have forgetfulness. Like they will forget the keys. They will forget, leave their phone somewhere and just be ignorant about things. Some people are really like irresponsible, but in our adulthood, if that's happening repetitively, that's means your brain is really, really messed up.
Okay.
Okay, so these people are also very irresponsible. I mean, you see this kind of students, they're not good students, and they're also like shy to be good students or the good employees. I mean, they're the under average, the below average students, below average performer in an office, and they don't care about it. There's like, man, I don't want to study because I don't want tension in my life. Why to study?
Right.
And why to be the best performer in the office? There are other people to work. I won't work. So the moment that they return home, they forget about the targets, they forget about what the boss had told them to do. They're very irresponsible, but they're very comfortable as well. They're like, man, life is good. I'm in a vacation mode in my life. Life is without burden and tension. Let me just enjoy my life that way.
They just kind of coast.
So the next we have is when our third eye chakra is negatively underactivated. So this can give someone weak eyesight. So it happens for a lot of us when we're in high school, we start to have eyeglasses. And that is because we start to develop third eye chakra imbalance. Because third eye chakra also regulates and governs our physical eyes, right?
Okay.
And it can also give you migraine or headache.
Okay.
Okay, it can also give you hearing problem. It can give you cold sensitivity. It can give you depression. It can give you brain-related diseases like Parkinson's or Alzheimer's.
Interesting.
And how to heal your third eye chakra? No news. What do you think about news?
Most of it is, if not all of it, is bullshit.
Definitely. So a lot of the news is quite made up. I mean, they try to, I I felt it, I mean, during the beginning of my awakening, that news is so filled up with, and rather than people trying to inform people, they're trying to inflict fear in people.
Yep.
That's how news, the entire news and the news channels are designed.
A lot of people seem to forget that the media, the news, is first and foremost a business, and a business needs to make money to stay in business. And the things that get the most ratings are like the fear of fear, because that's how people are controlled, is the fear of fear. And then sex, scandals, drug scandal, like all that kind of stuff. So basically negative things, because people tune into that. It's addictive. It's the same reason why people watch things like reality TV. It's because they're addicted to the drama in the show. And when we are in a space that literally all of our news outlets are government funded, it's going to be whatever they want to be put on the news. So yeah, it's yuck.
Yeah, definitely. So the first thing that I had during the beginning of my awakening, I stopped watching the news and I stopped watching the movies. I couldn't take it anymore. Okay, so what about social media?
Yeah, I see a lot of the same type of crap in social media as well. What I see a lot actually in social media is the pushing of a lot of sexuality, like a lot of half-naked women, a lot of the drama around the new,
Artificial lifestyle.
yeah. It's
They
just
try to promote a kind of lifestyle that is not real at all. All the things that we see, the power couple thing, the a person who is so successful and happy and all of that, it's just not the same thing behind the scenes.
right.
So when you expose yourself to these things like negative news and this social media garbage and the garbage and stuff from movies, from negative kind of music, your third eye receive information from there. And when you go to sleep, it will, have you designed your life in that way. You see more of those negative things in reality more and more. So you, in order to detox your third eye, you need to detox yourself from the media that you consume.
Yep.
Right? So tell me about the music, how music can be bad.
Oh, well, I know that in music, it's for a song to be a hit, there is a certain formula that they use to make it a hit, right? There's so many beats per minute. The chorus happens at a certain time. Most singles are around 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And when they use that formula, they plug in bad messaging, and with the formula that they use, that it gets stuck in our brain, then we get the bad messaging from the music stuck in our brain, and with whatever subliminal messaging that they put in there, or the different types of like manipulative like sounds that they have in the back. It's anything that's like big name music industry or from a big recording label and whatnot, I don't really trust anymore, honestly.
Right. So a lot of the cursing words, degrading women, kind of like promoting drugs, promoting a life, lower chakra related things, aggression, degrading others, and this kind of things is quite negative in the music industry. So movies are too, it's all, there are good movies, but most of them are quite a lot of the negative things. So the key is not to speak negative things, not to see negative things, and not to hear negative things. That's how you detox your third eye chakra.
Duly noted.
Next we have is crystals. Tell me, what is your favorite crystal?
Oh, I do love sapphire. I've always thought that that was a pretty stone, and it just happens to be my birthstone. In the pictures there, I would say, oh, actually, I don't know. That's a tough one. Those are all really nice stones. I don't think I've ever seen blue amethyst before. That would be really cool. I'd say probably the second and the third one are my favorite out of the pictured ones.
My most favorite is the all-time the amethyst. Is I have to have every day. Otherwise, my brain will go haywire.
I'll have to look
Because
into.
I'm a very intuitive person, so I need my third eye chakra bit balance to connect with this physical reality. So
Yeah.
amethyst.
I have amethyst on me all the time. Actually, right now, I don't know if you can see, I got amethyst earrings in.
Yeah, right. Then you have your affirmations. Then you have your energy healing.
So what would you tell to a person who doesn't believe in energy healing or astrology for that matter?
Well, see, each one have their own journey. So for the non-believers, they will have their share of pain, suffering, trauma, and then they will try to solve their problems, their diseases, their life problems in so many ways with medication, with traditional talk therapy. And then when they will find out that it doesn't work for them anyway, then they will try to explore the spiritual side of the solution. I mean, to get healing with energy healing, to get some guidance from astrology.
Okay.
Because a lot of the things I think, especially people who suffer from chronic illness, I mean, I get clients, they get tired of medication and it doesn't work for them anymore. When doctor tell them like, what happened to Dr. Joe Dispenza? Like doctor had told him like, you can never walk. And I was like, man, I don't buy that. I'll find a way. And he was finding his way and he found his way. Energy healing.
Yep. I love Dr. Joe Dispenza. I want to go back and reread all of his books.
Right.
All right. So imagine someone is going through a challenging time as per astrology. Maybe they're going through Saturn, Ketu Mahadasha, and they're losing everything: money, people, status. When you see clients like this, how do you deal with them?
Well, the thing is, when clients come up to me and when it's like, especially Saturn Mahadasha is very tough one because it's 19 years long. And Ketu Mahadasha is it's also very tough, although it's it's like 7 years, but it's very tough. I mean, most of the time I've seen people who go through the Ketu cycle, they lose everything. Either someone dies in the family or they have a bad accident or they have big financial loss or something like that. And they ask me what to do. And there's nothing is working from them. They're losing people. They're getting detached from the families. I mean, people, places, things that used to like uplift them doesn't uplift them anymore. They're just, no matter how much they try to hold on to it, they just can't. It just cuts them even more deeper when they try to hold on to these things. And then they go to astrologers. I think the thing that I do for them is I give a spiritual guidance. I also give them spiritual coaching, like, okay, your higher purpose right now is not to, I mean, obviously we need money, but in a different way. What is the different way for you as per your astrological chart, as per your soul mission? What you need to look for right now. So we try to explore those things, find out those things from our astrological chart. I also try to talk to their soul, like they have chosen to go through a tough time, challenging time. What is the learning behind that? I mean, see, a lot of time it happens that just because someone is going through a bad time period doesn't mean God is punishing them, but because their soul has chosen to go through that challenging time only to grow out from there, right? And a lot of time it happens that we understand an importance of something in presence of it, also in absence of it. Like we understand the value of money when we have it. We also understand it when we don't have it.
Right.
So it's a different perspective of living. We will try to find out like why your soul has chosen to go through certain things at certain time and how to get over that. Just because of you have a bad time period going on in your life doesn't mean that you have to really, let yourself suffer. A lot of the people, astrologers say that, okay, you have a bad time going on. There's nothing that you can do. You just have to suffer. It's not like that. You need, when you fall sick, you can go to doctor and get healing. Just try to learn how to. It's all about how to bring balance in your life.
Right.
So I do that spiritual coaching, and I also give them spiritual guidance as much as I can.
Gotcha. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that my Saturn return is actually coming to completion this month. I'd have to double check on that, but I'm quite certain that it is, or it's soon anyways.
Okay, not a problem. I will check your chart and also understand that if someone's major planets like the sun or the Mars or the ascendant lord is weak, don't be scared of it, because there's always a brighter side to it. Just because sun is our soul, and Mars is our vitality, our strength.
Yeah.
So if someone's sun or Mars is weak, it doesn't mean that you have to be tortured by others and suffer. It means that you need to put a little more effort to make things work for you, right? Like someone who has obesity, they will need to work a little bit to maintain their weight and to that and their diet. But it doesn't mean that it's impossible.
Right. There's a quote actually that kind of goes along this. If I remember it correctly, this isn't exact, but it's close to it. Is God doesn't call the prepared, he prepares the called.
Okay, and yeah, it happens that our soul has chosen that thing. So why running away from it? Embrace that, and embrace that in a positive way, to grow from it, not to be just drowned by it, but to grow from it.
Yep. Everything is for our highest good or greater purpose. It's preparing us for our future.
Definitely.
All right. Is there anything else that you want to add to this one?
No.
All righty. Well, everyone, tune in for next week for the crown chakra. That's going to be an interesting one too. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support is always appreciated. Thank you again, Alina. If you would like to reach out for any of her services, all of her contacts will be down in the bottom at the show notes, as will my contacts. And on that note, take care, guys. See you next week.